the champ, the legendary Polish power of Jan Blachowicz, man. He opens up as a minus 280 favorite, plus 230 comeback for the legendary, the everlasting #1 ranked Glover Teixeira, man. Listen, light heavyweight championship right here. This is Blachowicz's chance to truly prove that he is the real deal, man, that he deserves to be this champion. Because in your last title defense, did you fight one of the best mixed martial artists we have on the roster right now? Yes. Was he a weight class lower than you? Absolutely. Even though he gained a little bit of weight, come on, it's not the same thing, right? So here, AJ, this could be one of his toughest tests, man. So let's talk about the MMA math here. Jan Blachowicz loses to Corey Anderson, right? Gets beat up for the course of 3 or 5 rounds. I'm pretty sure it was 3. Lumped up, looked like the elephant man, right? Rematches him, knocks out Corey Anderson, flush. Glover Teixeira hands Corey Anderson, hands Glover Teixeira his last loss in MMA before Corey Anderson moved over to Bellator and has become now, he's up there, man. Corey Anderson might fuck around and win the championship for their light heavyweight tournament there. But nonetheless, man, so if in Corey Anderson's mind, if Glover Teixeira beats Jan Blachowicz, it's clear that Corey Anderson's the #1 light heavyweight in MMA right now. So he says. That's just what he's saying, right? But that's the thing, man. It's like these dudes got wins over this dude who beat that dude and that's always telling to me. So when we're talking about this matchup, AJ, we got a serious striker who got some grappling chops in Blachowicz versus a Glover Teixeira who is a serious striker who has grappling chops, man. But then again, we have a slight age discrepancy. 38 years old is Blachowicz, but he's fighting way younger. Glover Teixeira, 41, but he's fighting way younger. Dude, this is such an even, balanced matchup, man. What do you see on this? What stands out to you about this matchup here, AJ?
Man, this I think what stands out most to me on this one, Derek, is storyline.
Yeah.
Your back's against the cage. If you've ever had a do or die moment, folks, sometimes you just got to do it, and that's what Glover Teixeira has done in his last 5-fight win streak. Like, this dude is killing it, bro. Everybody's been doubting this dude, and the X's and O's are basically the same, like you said, Derek. A dude with serious power, with Polish power, is the real deal. And Glover Teixeira can crack, bro. We saw him against Anthony Smith. There's nothing more demoralizing than when a guy is punching your teeth in and he's just like, hey, man, I'm sorry. Bap. Like, I'm sorry, I got to do this. Bap. And he just keeps on hitting him. And that power is real. We even saw it against Thiago Santos. He was in trouble. He got the round 3 rear naked choke. But that power is real that Glover Teixeira does. And if you give him the chance to tap you out, I don't know how many submission victories he has, but it's a lot. I can tell you that. How many is it, Derek?
It's 9, and he's never been submitted himself. So very impressive.
Yeah, man. It's either way very impressive. And I don't think Jan Blachowicz, I'd give the advantage on the ground to Teixeira, and I'd give the power advantage to Jan. But who would you give in the technique advantage on the feet, Derek? Me personally, I'm going Blachowicz. I just think he gets it done, at least as far as recency bias goes. What do you think?
That one's tough, man. Both of these dudes tend to get hit kind of a decent amount, right? For striking defense, 54% for Teixeira, 53% for Blachowicz. So very equal on that point. But from film study, from the eye test, Blachowicz, he does a little bit of the, you know what I mean? Like, he just kind of gets caught up, and when he's trying to like feint, or when he's trying to react to a feint, right? He just kind of gets caught up and leaves himself open. Teixeira doesn't really do that as much, right? I think Teixeira has very underrated boxing. So his hands are nice, man. But for Blachowicz, he's very balanced in his approach. So technique-wise, I think I'm going to lean towards Glover, but I think overall as a striking package, Blachowicz has the edge. I truly believe that. Now, what's interesting is both of these fighters have 9 submissions in their MMA career. So you could argue on paper they're both as talented there, but I do clearly give it to Glover, man. I think Glover is much more dangerous when it comes to the ground. Not only the ground and pound, but the submission threat on the ground. And I think if he gets Jan Blachowicz, he's going to take his back and he's going to do disgusting, despicable things to the man. When you have an OG in the game like Glover, man, it's like, come on, what are we talking about here? I will say that he has secured 7 takedowns in his last 5 wins, right? So that's pretty impressive. But then again, against Corey Anderson, he got taken down 7 times in that fight. So that makes me ponder, do you think Blachowicz decides, hey, and even though I've had most of my success in my last 5+ fights on the feet, I'm going to take this one to the ground and see what you got. Do you think that even is a possibility?
Personally, I think on paper that's probably the best possibility he has. You don't want to test that Polish power, man. We even saw it against Izzy. He wasn't ever necessarily in super big danger, but that power was real, and even Izzy didn't really necessarily want to sit down and trade with Blachowicz. Excuse me.
So I have that one flipped though. So I'm talking about Jan Blachowicz has had most of his success on the feet. Does he try to take Teixeira down?
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah. No, I think Blachowicz keeps it standing. I think Blachowicz, the entire time, he trusts that power. He gets it going. Personally, on paper, I wouldn't want to test Glover on the ground. This dude is so dangerous, whether it's a ground and pound or the submission. He can get it done multitude of ways. I think Jan stays smart, stays patient. He is a little bit of that patient plotter, kind of how Volkov is, where he'll get it going. He does reach a little bit when he's getting the feints out, which can leave you open. I don't see that happening though, man. I'm going with the Polish power right there. What do you think?
Oh, I'm with you, man. I think that's probably his best bet. And we see the damage he could rack up, man. When he fought Dominic Reyes, those body kicks were like destroying the ribs of Reyes, man. He smashed his nose in with just simple shots, man. So at the end of the day here, AJ, man, I don't want to be a hater in any, type of way, but being 41 years old, man, this is your last shot at a title. Are you going to give it everything you got? Yes, but is that enough? Not all the time, man. Not all the time. And, Glover, he's an OG of the game, man. He's a real deal killer, but Jan Blachowicz, I think that he has entered, oddly enough, maybe the actual prime of his career, man, at a young 38 years old. It's weird to say, man, but he's fighting better than he has ever before, and I think now he's truly confident in his capability. So they say when you're in your 30s, that's when you're your best because your mind starts to catch up to your athletic abilities, right? So I think he has both of those things working there, and I think for Teixeira, man, he's going to be a very tough test, but I think Jan Blachowicz edges him out. So let's finish this off, AJ. Over-under is 2.5 rounds. This is a championship fight, but the over-under is 2.5 rounds, -115 for the over, -115 for the under. So split odds there. Where are you going on this one, man?
It's interesting. I'm going with the over. I thought it'd be a lot closer to a 4.5, 3.5 round fight, or at least over under prediction. I got the over on that one. What about you?
I'm going the over because I think both of these dudes are going to be very tentative in the first round. I think they're going to really fill themselves out, take a very slow approach to this fight, only trade a couple of shots. Second, third round, that's when we're going to start heating up. And unless there's a knockout, man, so Glover's been knocked out 3 times. Blachowicz has been knocked out twice. Unless that happens, I mean, it's going to be interesting, but we'll see what happens here, folks, man. 6'2" are both of these fighters, 78-inch reach for Blachowicz, 76 for Teixeira, man. It's going to be a very, very fun fight. And the last thing that I need to leave it on is they have very similar takedown defense, 65% for Blachowicz, 60 for Teixeira, man. So with that being said, AJ, who are you going with and why? Are we going and new or and still?
I'm rocking with Ann Still on this one, man. I'm rocking with the Polish power, and what you said about Jan Blachowicz, where this is his best he's ever been fighting. The same can be said for Glover Teixeira, and it's just mind blowing that this dude's doing that at 41 years old. I have it at 42 for some reason. Tapology was messing with me on my numbers. I'm not really sure, but either way, this dude in his 40s. Fighting the best he ever has against killers like Thiago Santos, Anthony Smith, Nikita Krylov, Jan Kutalaba. Yeah, he's very, 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 there's some value in that 230, but me personally, I'm going with and still Blachowicz by decision. What about you, Derek?
I got to rock with Blachowicz myself, man. And listen, I will say the last time, he's won all 5 of his last fights for both of these fighters, man. But Blachowicz, or for Teixeira, I remember him distinctively getting uppercutted into unconsciousness. Do you remember who did that to him? It was just an uppercut, boom, got him out of there. You don't remember?
No, I don't remember.
All right, well, it just happened recently, man, and it was a sight to see. It was an incredible thing, man. But that was the last time that he lost, or actually maybe not, because his last loss was Corey Anderson, so I take that back. But this was, maybe I'm misremembering. So I'll take that out of the equation for now since I don't have my facts behind me. But I'm rocking with the legendary Polish power of Jan Blachowicz, man, and I think that this sets up for a very interesting light heavyweight title picture, man, because I would love to see a Magomed Ankalaev versus a Jan Blachowicz. I would love to see it. But that's neither here nor there. So I think I'm going to go AJ. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to take the over on 2.5 rounds, but I see a knockout incoming, man. Round 3, round 4, you know what I mean? Maybe early round 5, but I see Blachowicz getting Teixeira out of there just with those heavy bombs, man. So that's the take. I'm going over. You're going over for 2.5 rounds. We're both going Blachowicz, but you're rocking decision. I'm going KO on that one, man. But it's another one, man, where I would love to see Teixeira go out on a high note, because if he went to the championship, I don't know if I necessarily envision him be like, oh, I'm going to stick around and try to defend this thing. I think it might be like, all right, man, now I'm done. It's cool. It's over, So